All right, we are live. Welcome to another Thursday night live stream. This time it's actually on Thursday again. Welcome, Jacob. Glad to see that you made it in. I'm going to stall just a few minutes while hopefully some other people come in. I got right into things on Sunday morning, and I had a lot of people come in late, so um, maybe we'll do things a little out of order tonight. Good evening, Ken. Welcome. So, one of the things that caught my attention earlier this week, and hopefully people in the chat will play along with me and provide some feedback. But I think it was yesterday I saw the video with Techno Tim and um, uh, Lawrence Systems and Learn Linux TV and a few other personalities in the tech space on YouTube, and they were talking about 100 days of home lab. And so it's my intention, and I'll probably wait and start this on Monday, but it's my intention to uh, get in on this. Um, I watched a couple of Tim's videos, Techno Tim's videos, and his whole idea was that people would not necessarily all start on the same day, but that this would be an ongoing thing with content being generated, whether it's blogs or videos or whatnot. So I guess what I'd kind of like to know from the chat, for I guess the two of you that are here so far, is a couple of things. First, do you have a home lab? And is this 100 days of home lab something that you would consider doing? Um, I keep thinking that, something like this has a potential to allow more collaboration with other people. And since I use StreamYard for my live streams, at least at the current moment, I do until I get finished moving some stuff around in my office and can really put the ATEM Mini into operation the way I want it. Um, you know, StreamYard makes it easy to bring people on as guests. So that's sort of my idea. Um, Jacob says, I think I've crossed the home data center threshold. um, well, I think I'm there myself. Maybe not in like enterprise class equipment, but the sheer number of devices on my network would indicate otherwise. Um, I have a home lab and domain setup using Proxmox. Don't really know much about the 100 days thing. So the basic idea behind it, I'm trying to find Tim's website right now. The basic idea behind it is that you spend an hour a day for 100 days in a row doing something in your home lab, whether that's setting up a VM and experimenting with things, setting up something on a VPS on Vulture or DigitalOcean or what have you, or even doing some coding or automation scripting work. Um, so maybe I can find this website of his. I don't see the website, but I see the Facebook page, so that'll work. That'll work. I'll share my screen and bring that up. And I'll close that out. So he says the challenge is meant to accelerate your knowledge in servers, networking, infrastructure, automation, storage, containerization, orchestration, virtualization, Windows, Linux, and more. It can possibly, even possibly, accelerate your IT career. So commit to the 100 days of Home Lab Challenge, share your progress, and encourage others along the way. And Tim, congratulations to you if you ever see this. Congratulations on hitting 100 subs. So yeah, and that links to the video on YouTube. So that's kind of the story there. Let's see. I'm about the same, getting pretty crazy with it. 2.5 racks of decent gear, 1 rack of leftovers and antiques. C7000 blade chassis were laborious to move in. Well, and so I have to ask, what is your electric bill like? Okay, so Ken, you're not on Facebook, so let me paste in the. Oh, that's not gonna work. Okay, so let me open that in a new tab, and then I will copy this link. So that should get you direct to the video that Techno Tim put out. And absolutely take a look at his stuff. He makes very good content. So yeah, that's as much as I'm going to pimp his channel tonight. So all right. So the other piece of what I wanted to talk about tonight is the ongoing project for the campground. So I have been working on this project for a campground here in Michigan, and the people that take their RVs to the campground complain to the owner of the campground that they have bad Wi-Fi. Well, they're effectively in a Faraday cage on wheels, and of course they don't understand this, but so I was asked to come up with a solution. So basically what I ended up doing is getting a hold of, and I've tossed the box out of arm length, getting a hold of a Wavelink access point / repeater. It's got a wireless ISP mode. And so I'm going to do something a little different tonight, and I'm going to roll a video that I recorded of the unboxing, and then when we come back, I will open up the configuration page, and we will look through the configuration, and I'll tell you some of the quirks that I found with this particular piece of equipment, because there were a few that I discovered, and nobody seemed to document those very well. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this, and hopefully the audio and everything comes through, because I've uploaded this video to StreamYard, so it should play through just fine. So here we go. All right, let's unbox this Wavelink unit. So inside the box, we have a quick start guide. Now, a little smaller box. Inside it, we've got a power over Ethernet injector. An Ethernet cable, which is likely Cat 5e, although there are no markings on the jacket. We also have a power brick with a barrel style plug for the PoE ejector. There's some mounting screws. Zip ties for pole mount. And then this guy himself, the Wavelink unit. Okay, so should have also hiding in the other packaging 4 antennas. And we do have 4 antennas. So let me move some of this excess stuff out of the way. Okay. So the antenna ports are labeled. Looks like, looking at the front of the unit, so for you guys it'd be this way. Looking at the front of the unit, on the right hand side, it'll be your left hand side, we've got the 2.4 gigahertz, and on my left hand side would be the 5 gigahertz. And the antennas are in fact labeled accordingly. And we'll get these put on. That's a 5. Don't want a thread on there. Okay, so we got the 5, and this one is in fact 2.4. Takes just a little bit to get those on there. And the other 5 gigahertz. And so this is what our unit looks like put together. Now, if we unscrew the bottom, That has a nice seal there. There are 2 Ethernet ports labeled LAN and WAN. And nice little sealer unit with the rubber grommet type of thing for the Ethernet cable, which I will set aside for the moment. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. And when we pick up in the live stream, I will be at the configuration screen of this guy, and we can move on from there live. Thanks for watching. All right. Let me put myself in the bottom corner there. We'll call that good. Okay, so the first little annoyance that I found with this is that it does not have a username. It just simply prompts for a password. I have since changed the password. And so this should come up. It came up when I tested it before. Okay, so there's always a plan B. All right, so I'll do it from the remote machine. All right, so do that. You get logged in and you're presented with a status page. It's got a handy little wizard to walk you through getting everything connected, and it's got the 3 different modes that you can select from. On the Wi-Fi tab, you can connect to host Wi-Fi. You can do other configuration and region settings, which is of course US here. 2.4 advanced settings. So I set the Wi-Fi channel and I set it to G and N only, so that higher speeds are maintained on the 2.4 gigahertz range. And then AC on the 5 gigahertz, and this one I basically left alone. So there are, and that for some reason is not allowing me to change it, but that's all right. Anyways, so it's a pretty straightforward unit. So it's connected via Wi-Fi to one of my access points here in my apartment. So the 172 network is my network, and then the LAN on from the device is shown here, and then 2.4 or 5 gigahertz stuff. It's got a ping test. It's got security management, has a few things. And under time settings, set up for Eastern time zone, and we've got everything synchronized at the moment. I did check for a firmware update earlier, and wouldn't you know it, it's on the latest version. So, if you were to look at buying this unit, it's selling for just under $130 on Amazon. And I got it here in 2 days' time. So I'm hoping that this will solve some issues at the campground. I'll find out more tomorrow when I go to install it and do the remaining configuration. But this is a nifty little unit. In fact, I may actually get one for myself and set up here at the apartment. I've got a access to a detached garage, and this way I could have decent signal out inside the garage and at least be able to listen to YouTube videos and things when I'm out there working. Now, as far as the other annoyances that I found, when you connect this to an existing Wi-Fi network, the password for said Wi-Fi network cannot have any spaces in the password. And of course, on my personal Wi-Fi, I do have spaces in the password. It also complained about, I think, one other special character it didn't like. So I had to, and you can see here on screen, I had to set up a test network. Thankfully, I'm using Ubiquiti Unify, and it took me 30 seconds to add this test network. And it did what I was expecting. So yeah, I'm hoping that this takes care of the issue. I'm really hoping this takes care of the issue at one of the campsites. And once we have a proven installation method, there will be the potential for deploying a similar solution to other campers in their respective RVs. Or at least providing the information where they can order it, and then my business partner and I can go down and do the installation. Oh, itchy nose tonight. Excuse me a minute. Oh. All right. So yeah. That's where I'm at on this. Seeing that the unit does have both a LAN port and a WAN/PoE in port. The original plan called for running cables into the RV and then having an indoor access point set up there. So we're basically doing a sort of a 2 unit setup. Hopefully this will work the way I'm hoping it does. Once I add the other unit to the mix, time will tell. I'm very hopeful. I'm going to do some more testing tonight after the live stream is over. And so that's why we'll probably wrap this up in about another 15 or 20 minutes. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I talked about this unit a little bit because it gets deployed tomorrow, and I won't have it again to make videos from until I order another one. So, are there any questions about this Wavelink unit? It doesn't seem to be too special. It does what I think I need it to do. So, we'll see. I mean, I want to get it on site tomorrow morning and make sure that it's going to do what it needs to do before I order any more of these. So, are there any questions or comments about the Wavelink unit or the 100 Days of Home Lab? So I'll probably do a more official announcement of my start of the 100 days on Sunday in the Sunday morning live stream, and then do videos along the way. There may not be a video for every day I do something, but my hope is that I can either do a video or a blog post, or even just a post on Twitter or Facebook, and kind of document that way. And I also keep a log or a journal of my, just for stuff that I do in my office / home lab. And that's kind of helpful, just so I have a record of what I've been working on and what my thought process about some of these things has been. And, hopefully as I move forward, then this will continue to develop and evolve and go from there. So, any questions or comments at this point? Let's see. Guess I could throw that up there. I do have Buy Me a Coffee if you would like to support the channel. Any support is appreciated. Last year was kind of a big financial hit, trying to step up my game on equipment for the live streaming and other video related things. So that's appreciated. You should, both of you in the chat should be subscribed, because I think I've set the chat so that you have to be subscribed in order to comment in the chat, which does tend to keep the undesirables out, shall we say. I hate seeing live streams and, the scammers and people promoting adult-related content coming in and commenting on things. And since I'm a one-man show, I try to use what shortcuts I can. And that's why all my comments are moderated on the channel by me. And you've got to be subscribed in order to comment in the chat for a live video. So that's just how I have found best to work this. I guess while we're here, have any of you, either of you, made any use of WinGet yet? I have been using this for a while. In my day job, I do also manage Windows systems, which is why I've only got one Windows system at home. um, Currently, I'll probably spin up a Windows 11 VM at some point. But WinGet is the Microsoft package manager that's built in to Windows, recent versions of Windows. It has provisions for doing importing of a JSON file that has a list of applications you want to install. So if you're reinstalling a system, you can export the list before you load Windows, and then when you redeploy Windows, you can, get Chrome or Firefox installed using WinGet. You don't even have to launch Edge. You can install Microsoft Office or LibreOffice. A lot of the things I had been using Chocolatey for, I can now do with WinGet. And since I'm on a very tight budget, I work in a library. Licensing Chocolatey was not really an option. Not everything does a silent install or uninstall, but it's better than having to go to individual websites and download software. I have been using a relatively new tool, or new to me anyways. It's a remote monitoring and management system called ActionOne, and it is free for 100 endpoints forever. And so, just as a disclaimer, I'm not sponsored in any way by ActionOne, but I've sort of taken on, sort of being an unofficial evangelist for ActionOne, for small businesses, community centers, and libraries, because depending on what size those entities are, there's a high likelihood they will never reach 100 endpoints. Now, the two things that I find lacking with ActionOne, and I've voiced this to them. One, it does not have file transfer at this point in time, and two, it does not have clients for macOS or Linux. If it were to gain those features, I would likely abandon my subscription to Splashtop and use this for my side business. Yeah. And you access it all through a browser. So, while the endpoints can only be Windows currently, you can, be running Linux or Mac OS at home and access all those Windows machines. It has saved my bacon a few times. because I only have my splash top installed on my one desk computer, and I did that as we were closing for COVID, like 18 months ago. Um, I guess longer ago than that. But anyways, yeah. So ActionOne has been a great help. And like I said, Winget has been decent to work with. It's actually updating LibreOffice right now, so that's actually going to take a hot minute. But I mostly use Linux at home, but use Windows in my IT job at work. Yep. I'm kind of stuck using Windows at work myself. We've only got 5 staff members total, but they saw fit to put in we've got Windows Server 2016 and Active Directory installed, which to me is overkill because when it was set up, we and this was before I started at the job, it never made use of group policies. It never made use of a lot of the functionality there, and so it's really overkill for what it's actually doing. And then we've got a second, a virtual server. And that is, well, it was originally for our antivirus, and I canned Kaspersky for another product. But it's now running our print server for the public printer at the library, which as a product on the whole, I think it's a hot mess. I'm not going to mention the product by name, but yeah, it's from a company that has a very Windows centric view of things, and so it doesn't play well with anything but Windows, really. And yeah, I really question whether we should have paid that kind of money for it, but it's paid for, it's installed, it's currently working on all of our public machines, and yeah, it is what it is. So Wavelink. Oh, I guess the final annoyance that I've found so far with this particular unit, in order to log out of it, you have to go into the setup menu and log out. So I don't know. It's the UI could use an overhaul. I will give them credit. I will give them a little bit of credit. Bring myself back on full screen again. They did, and I'm sure it'll be too small for you to read, but they did include the GNU General Public License notice. And they've got a couple of paragraphs, and then they've got links where you can get the full license. So yeah, I guess my annoyances are a little nitpicky, but I did spend 6 years as a quality assurance engineer testing software. So I guess I'm somewhat justified in being nitpicky. But if it does the job and it makes people at the campground happy, great, great. I'm good with it. So I had hoped to show off as part of my little thing tonight. My little B-Link mini PC I've got sitting next to me. Um, I actually took Windows 11 off and I put Pop OS on it, and I've been using it to do a little gaming on Steam. My poison of choice lately, from a gaming perspective, has been a game called Infernax, Infernax. It's sort of a, what do they call it? Metroidvania game, sort of a cross between, Mega Metroid and Castlevania. And so it's been a lot of fun. I set some villagers on fire last night, so that was interesting. I didn't actually intend to do it, but I hit the wrong button, and they were running around with fire coming off them. So they were going up in a blaze of glory, I suppose you could say. But yeah, I guess I'm dating myself making a reference to St. Elmo's Fire. I think that's where the Blaze of Glory song came from, but I might be a little fuzzy on that one. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm pretty happy with overall with the way this went. This was sort of an experiment. I don't think I've really used that play a pre-recorded video feature before, or not very widely. And so that was a nice experiment. All right, have a good night, Ken. Appreciate you stopping in. Okay, so on that note, if nobody has any other comments, I'm going to wrap this up for the night. This one's only going to be about 45 minutes, but thank you all for coming in and participating in the chat. And I will be back hopefully with more to report on Sunday in the next video, the next live stream. And it will likely be at 11:30 a.m. and go till at least 12:30. So thanks for coming out. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you on Sunday. Have a good night, everybody.